Hey everybody, Staff Sergeant Sullivan here. Today we are talking pilots, how to become a pilot in the Oregon Army National Guard. Alrighty, so today we are talking pilots, and today I've got CW5 Don Ford, master pilot. That's probably not a real term, but he is a pilot. You are a CH-47 Fox model Chinook pilot.
Correct.
Correct. You fly pilot. Okay, you fly helicopters in the National Guard.
That's correct.
Too easy. Okay, sounds simple. But we're gonna get into it. Okay, so you've been in the military for 23 years.
23
and a half.
23, yep.
Okay. MOSs, you've got 3 different MOSs. You were a pilot, but before you were a pilot, you did some other stuff.
That's correct. I was a 63 Bravo, which doesn't exist anymore. They've changed it to something else. I was a light wheel mechanic.
Okay.
Worked on Humvees, trucks, generators, in the motor pool. That was enjoyable.
Okay.
And then I held a secondary MOS, a 92 Yankee, which was a supply.
Okay. Yeah. We have those. Yeah. We still have those jobs.
Yes.
Those are out there. Then you became a pilot.
And then I became a pilot.
Okay, so you've had a path through the National Guard and seen some different things. Qualifications, you're airborne qualified. You are an aviation master gunner.
Yes. Yes, I went to airborne school when I was an enlisted guy. And then I just went to the aviation master gunner course after I was an instructor pilot because through one of our missions, the federal mission is to actually engage in aerial gunnery from the helicopters.
Okay.
So as a master gunner, we learn all about ballistics and trajectory and lethality and such.
I'll show a picture here. Some of my time when I flew. No big deal, guys, but I'm just saying. I'll show. That's another story. So okay, you did that. Why did you join the National Guard?
I joined the National Guard and the military in a whole because family. I have a long history and lineage of family members that have served, and an overall sense of patriotism and duty. And I was young.
You were young. What was your enlistment story?
So I enlisted in the spring of 1997. I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
And I had to get my parents to sign in. I joined what was called a
Split op?
Split op.
17 years old.
Yep, 17. So I went to basic training the summer of my junior year. Came back, finished up my senior year, and then went back and did my individual training for light wheel mechanics the summer after my senior year, and just been rocking it ever since.
Awesome. Okay. That's a very typical path for a high school student right now for a junior that enlists. Basic training, you're going to go this summer. After basic training, you're going to come back, spend your senior year here with us recruiters. After you graduate high school, go off to your training school to learn your job, and then, like you said, just
and
sky's the limit after
that. Senior year working with recruiters and refining would have been perfect. When I went through back in '97, I was right back to the unit.
Oh.
And so I started drilling my senior year with my unit.
Oh, wow.
And not being qualified on my MOS, I was relegated to the supply room and
that's fine. They used you. They got some experience that you got there. Okay, that's cool. So that's why you joined family lineage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then your enlistment comes up. Your first contract, you signed up for 6 years.
I signed up for 6. Yep, 6 with the 6 plus 2, so you get the 2 years of inactive ready reserve.
So you re-enlisted, obviously.
So I re-enlisted, and I think it was maybe about 4 years into my first enlistment. I had just gotten back from my first deployment to Kosovo, and a buddy of mine put in his packet for flight school. I'm not sure how he figured it out or whatever, but he did it, and I thought to myself, well, that guy's not very smart. And if he could do it, well, I definitely could do it. So then I started going through the process and talking to some individuals, and apparently somebody saw something, some sort of skills or
Something,
ability,
yeah.
and here I am.
Okay, awesome, awesome, okay.
I've been flying now almost 18 years.
18 years, woo! I guess that goes to say that you like it.
Oh, yes.
You enjoy it.
Yes.
Okay, otherwise you probably go do something else. Current job. What is your current job in the National Guard?
Okay, so currently, as a CW5, I'm pretty high up on the totem pole here.
So before, hang on, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
before we get in there, so I want to show this, okay? So the different ranks here, we've got the enlisted side, which is myself. We have the traditional officer side, which I don't have anybody to interview on that, but those are those ranks. But then in this other little world, we have the warrant officers. Okay, so they go up 1 through 5.
Mhm.
You topped out. You're
Topped
there.
out.
Top dog.
Yep.
What does that mean? What do you do
So
on a normal day?
So as a CW5, I'm at the state level. So now I'm in charge of standardizing and managing all of the helicopters and UAVs that the state flies. All the crew members, all the training, all the qualifications. I also work with other states and their programs, and as well as the national level. So any programs or updates or policies that come down would be ran through my office.
Sound important?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so a warrant officer. I want to just kind of just hit on that one just a little bit.
Yeah.
To find out what is a warrant officer, what do they do? Obviously, you are a pilot. That's a warrant
Mhm.
officer. But because we have two different types of warrant officers,
There are two.
Can you tell me just the cliff notes on what the difference is between them and
Sure.
why
Well,
choose one or
let's
the
start
other?
with what a warrant officer is. And a warrant officer is a tactical and technical expert. We are specialists in our fields, meaning we will stay in very narrow career paths. Aviation for 18 years, ground maintenance, allied trade, medical, admin. We stay in these career paths, and we get very good and very smart at that. The two types of warrant officers, aviation and a ground technical warrant, are where we kind of branch. Aviators fly and manage all sorts of aircraft that the Army operates, and through rank and school and assignments, we achieve higher levels of technical and tactical expertise. Ultimately achieving CW5, where you've mastered everything. The technical ones manage equipment, personnel actions, medical equipment. They're in field artillery. They're in food service. They're everywhere, and they are subject matter experts in that field. Where a warrant officer differs from an officer is officers, a lieutenant and a captain, they're considered generalists, and they move from one field to the next. So by the time they
Okay.
become a general, they've held multiple assignments over the entire organization.
So they're- yeah.
Right, whereas a warrant officer has only stayed in one track all the way
So
through.
you are the specific expert in that field. Okay.
Very much.
What are the requirements, the differences, why choose one or the other? Because you can be a pilot and be a
Right.
traditional officer.
Right. So we'll start with aviation. For Oregon, you need to be in the organization. You need to enlist
You gotta join.
and hold an MOS. And then from there, you'll put in a packet, and it's quite a lengthy process, but it involves medical exams as well as a flight aptitude knowledge test. There's not a lot of prerequisites. It's open to all MOSs, so don't fret about what you need to specifically get to. Aviation MOSs obviously help,
Sure.
but they're not a requirement.
You started your knowledge base in one area.
Yep. And then you'll complete this packet. It goes against a board. You'll have to present yourself in full dress uniform and answer some questions, and then become federally recognized, which is just a term saying that the National Army recognizes that you're able to become an officer. And then you're off to flight school. The technical one, it depends on what what area you want to go to. Say you want to go to allied trades. You know, you're a mechanic or a welder. You need to hold certain MOSs, achieve certain ranks, certain levels of military education. You need to have that base technical, tactical knowledge before you'll become allowed to further and become a warrant officer. So the technical ones, it very much determines which one you want to go into as to what you need to do. But same process, a board, federal recognition, and then off to further school.
Okay. Prerequisites, be a warrant. You said there wasn't much, you put a packet in.
Yes.
Big thing that I know difference is you do not need a degree to become a warrant officer.
No, there is no college degree required, unlike
Versus
an officer.
an officer, you have to have that 4-year degree to even be eligible.
You do need a GT score of 110.
110, okay.
And that's
Which that comes off your ASVAB.
that comes off your ASVAB. So it is important to apply yourself on that if you want to get this. Now, some of the technical ones may require higher,
Sure.
but the base is 110.
110, okay. And that's something easy that we can find out. Just a quick look into your scores to see what you got. I mean, if that's something that you're interested in, becoming a warrant officer, and maybe your skills aren't there quite yet, we can always retake the ASVAB,
Absolutely.
study, get your levels up and stuff. So you have opportunities in the future for that to happen as well. Okay, 2018. You had a memorable experience?
Yes. If you guys might recall, there was an individual that was injured and required assistance on the top of Mount Hood, and the Mount Hood rescue was having difficulty getting up there to him and then getting him down. It was springtime. The ice was thawing. The mountain gets very treacherous and dangerous at that time, and so they called in. The state called the National Guard to ask for help, and we put a crew together and we flew out there and assessed the situation, the winds and the temperature and elevation. We picked up a team of the Mount Hood rescue team, and we flew them up to the top and performed a pinnacle landing, which is a normal maneuver that we do all the time in training. However, we don't do it at nearly 12,000 feet in the springtime.
Up on the edge of the mountain.
Up on the edge of
and
the
that was at the top, wasn't it?
That was at the very top.
At the very top. You could see the crest of the mountain. Mount Hood. We'll put a video up here, a couple pictures, to show you, help remind you. But that was pretty awesome. So what role did you play there?
I was a pilot. I was actually flying the
You were
aircraft.
on the sticks, controlling it all.
Yeah. And then I had Mr. Hoffman flying with me, helping out, and then we had 3 enlisted crew members in the back who are responsible for helping guide the aircraft in. It's a big aircraft. There's no side view mirrors or anything like that.
Rear view,
There's
backup
huge mountains
cameras
behind me. And so they're telling me, hey, come left, come right. You're off, X amount of feet. Come down, and then once we were on the ground, they lower the ramp, guide the people off, get the survivor back on, secure everything, and let us know where we're going. So very much a team effort.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, very exciting.
Cool. Okay. I was here at that time, and I remember I wasn't a part of that team or anything, but I was back here at home working on the aircraft, and that was a pretty big deal. It was pretty cool.
It was.
Pretty proud moment to be, even though myself I wasn't necessarily involved with it, but being a part of the team, I'm a supporting role. It is a very cool feeling, even for somebody that wasn't even there. So I can't even imagine what it was like for you guys.
Yeah, it was.
But
yeah, it was pretty awestruck. We didn't know we were being filmed at the time, and so we were just concentrating and worrying about just flying, and the aircraft was getting pretty low on gas too, so we just had to get them back down. And it wasn't until afterwards, when we landed at Troutdown, we were getting gas, that we had found out that it was even filmed.
Oh, geez.
And then we all just huddled around, and we were like,
Whoa.
yeah,
That's
fanboying
cool.
over each other, like, oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so favorite things about the National Guard?
The ability to give back to the community, and to help out, like whether it's rescues, fires.
Fires every year, basically.
Every year, yep. The ability to serve and give back, that's probably one of the coolest things.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. If you had to go back in time, you've been in for 23 and a half years.
Yeah.
If you could change anything in your military career, what would you do?
Would have gone to flight school a lot earlier.
Sooner?
Yep.
You,
Yep, I would
okay.
become a warrant officer right away.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
You found what you wanted to do, and yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, that's awesome, okay. How about some advice for somebody that's sitting out there that's watching this that says, is kind of thinking about it? Obviously, the warrant officer side of things kind of comes after the fact, but highlighting on becoming a pilot. Somebody that's interested, that's sitting there.
Yeah. So you're interested, you're on the fence about joining the National Guard. Listen, it's part-time. It's 1 week in a month.
Yep, it's easy.
You know, you get AT, you put a little extra change in your pocket. You got to get a skill though. Get a trade. You know, being a diesel mechanic or learning to fly a helicopter. You know, the Army sent me to flight school, paid for all of that. I now hold, you know, all my FAA licenses, you know, airline transport, you know, everything. And the Army's paid for all of that. So get a skill. You know, get something out of your time when you join the Army. And then everything else, just have fun.
Awesome, awesome. Okay. Well, let's change a little scenery here. Let's go take a look at firsthand the helicopter, see what it is.
Yeah.
You know, we're actually been talking about, and let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, so we are out here on the hangar floor. This is the Chinook. This is what you fly.
Yes, this is the CH-47F model Chinook. It's the newest one that the Army currently operates right now. The Oregon Guard has 6 of them located out here on the east side of the state in Pendleton.
Okay. And what do you? I mean, so it's hard to kind of imagine maybe, you know, when you're this close and you know what it can actually do, but it's kind of cooler to see it in action. But what it was like, how many people, what can it do? What can this do?
Dude, I could talk about this aircraft all day long. I have a passion for this girl right here. I'm qualified in several airframes, but this is the one that I fly the most.
Okay.
It's 100 feet from the tip of the rotor, the forward rotor, to the aft rotor. It's just over 18 feet tall. This model right here, she's coming in about 32,000 pounds. It'll hold 30 soldiers, takes a crew of up to 5 when we deploy. It'll hold 1,000 gallons of gas.
You go
That
some
gets
miles
us
on
about
that.
2.5 hours of flight time. Burns about 33 gallons a minute.
Oh wow.
Costs the Army about $8,000 to $10,000 an hour to fly. Yeah, but you can fit 2 Humvees, artillery. You can
What kind of sling loading capabilities?
sling
I've seen
load,
pictures of that kind
yeah,
of stuff.
26,000 pounds.
26,000 pounds.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Humvees, artillery pieces, Connexes.
When you go out and do the fighting fires,
Yeah,
you guys are carrying buckets
carry
of
a water bucket up to 2,000 gallons. That's 17,000 pounds.
Okay.
So 2,000 gallons of water. Like, it's a mind. It's an abstract number. Like, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
2,000 gallons of water will knock over a tree. It'll crush a car. It's a lot of force.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, that's, like you said, I just want to keep this short and brief. That is going to wrap things up for us. CW5 Ford, I appreciate you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
This is awesome. If any of this kind of stuff interests you guys, if you are wanting to know more about becoming a warrant officer, if you're wanting to know more about becoming a pilot, any of this kind of stuff, reach out to me. Contact information's right after here. I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks.